partner, not your average agent. And today we have the pleasure of speaking with Sneak Dissin, real name Jamal. You guys, this is going to be a wonderful episode. So please grab your notebooks and maybe even a little water, because we gonna hold them as long as we can to get every single gem.
Absolutely.
Stay tuned.
So should we get right into it, man? I mean, because I know you for a couple of things. You know, I'll preach to the audience, know you for a couple of different things. You're a seer entrepreneur. You are the definition of what it means to be a seer entrepreneur or whatnot. But I want to start from the beginning. Where did it all start, man? Where did it all begin?
Where did it all start? I could say I probably when I was a kid, you know, I think my mother put it in me. Like, she used to make me these lunches, and I went to this church school. I used to sell all my lunches to the secretaries and the nurses. You know, and at that time, you know, back then, you know, there was no limit CDs. And I needed to, you know, I wanted to make some money if I could buy me some CDs. They were dropping CDs every week.
Oh, yeah, I remember.
So my mom was making me these crazy lunches, and I wasn't really eating them, so I would just sell them to the people in, you know, the school. But then over time, you know, dibbing and dab, you know, doing some things that I wasn't supposed to do. But as my adult years, I was a provider for the state for some years. Had my own clients for the DODD. I did that probably almost 10 years. And then after that, I got into selling sneakers to celebrities and athletes. And I was doing that for probably another 10 years. And then I could say after that, that's when I got into, you know, I had some down periods in my life. And then that's when I wanted to start focusing more on bettering myself, and got into like the credit, and then really got into real estate, and then credit. And once I got credit together, that's when Airbnb and Turo and all those other things came about. So like I could say, you know, really my son 12, so probably entrepreneur around that time, 12 years. Really probably long.
Humble beginnings, man, because we can't go over the celebrity Sneak. You sold shoes to celebrities, man. Like, how did you get into that? How does one even get into that, man?
It was something that me and my bro Mario and my dude Kurt, we started, and my bro Rio, he was like, man, we was just always just buying shoes, you know, growing up. You know, people just knew it just from high school, after school. People just knew we just always just had some fresh shoes. And then we were just, I think like when Twitter first was started, and you know, I forgot what his name was or something. He was like, man, you should call yourself Sneak Dissin. And I'm thinking like, Sneak Dissin? He's like, yeah, you know what I'm saying? You know, you dissing everybody sneaks. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, oh, that's kind of catchy. And then it went from there, and then I would just, one time, Ted Ginn had hit me, asked me to get him some shoes. And I'm I can really make some money off this. Yeah. So I wasn't really going into it like thinking about selling some shoes. It just was just like people knew me from the neighborhood and having nice shoes, and they had early releases and things like that. And then, you know, Fabulous reached out to me on my DM, asking me to get him some red phone posits. And then from there, you know, things just took off. And then, you know, I was just selling shoes to him, a lot of entertainers, and there was a period of time, like when it was concerts or wherever, like they, you know, you couldn't get no shoes if you wasn't coming through me, you know what I'm saying? So, you know, I supplied a lot of stores, but they had a lot of ups and downs, you know what I'm saying? So, but I also, you know what I'm saying, created a lot of downfalls for myself too. So I also, you know, I take ownership to everything that has happened into my life, you know, because, you know, I did a lot of bad business, you know, so I can admit that. But, you know, I also, you know, saying, clear my hand too at the same time. So, you know, like, you know, I always tell people, like, you know, make sure your face and your hand is clean, you know, so because you never know who knows who, you know. And, but I also feel like too, though, for when I was doing the shoe business, it took away from me being a provider. Because I was kind of, I ain't gonna say like I was feeling myself, but, you know, I was around rappers, I was kicking, I was traveling, I wasn't really into my business that I had, you know what I'm saying? Because I was, this 2021, I was kind of in the DODD field since 2006, became a provider in 2009. So around that time we selling shoes, I think it was like around 2010, 11 or whatever. So it took away from all that. Like I wasn't really, even though I was making good money doing that, but I was having more fun doing this. You know what I'm saying? So it just took me away. I started losing clients because I wasn't really like being with them all the time. So that's another thing too in business. Like, you know, don't get caught up into, you know what I'm saying, yeah, you may be making some money, but, you know what I'm saying, like put something away. Even when I was selling shoes to the rappers, I was around all these, you know, millionaire rappers and entertainers all the time, but I wasn't asking no questions. All I was just trying to kick it, be around girls. Like I always had my own money, so I never really, you know, cared for like somebody to do something for me. It was like, you know, they hit me up and be like, yo, this is going on, and I fought myself out, whatever. But I wasn't really thinking about investing. Now fast forward me being into real estate, the stuff that I know now. Imagine if I knew that like 10, 5 years ago, whatever. So everything is a learning experience. So, you know what I'm saying, fast forward after that, you know what I'm saying, like humble beginnings, you know, like I took some down periods, was losing money, was, you know, taking a lot of L's in the shoe business, like kind of like almost like lost like $50,000. So, you know, that kind of like, you know, stressed me out, put me like in a depression for real. And then, you know, it was just like a lot of bad energy that was going on with the shoe business from, you know, people, you know, just hating and things like that. But, and then I just started like, you know what, maybe this ain't for me no more, you know, and I started working, you know, because I was losing money. It was a different transition from being a quote unquote a boss, being independent to having to work a job. So, you know, I worked a job, you know, and it wasn't, I can honestly say like, even though those 4 years at that job was probably the best 4 years of my life. Because it had me look at everything differently, you know what I'm saying? Because it made me look at like, I constantly could always just like look and see like where I was at, how I was living, where I was staying at, the type of cars I was driving. And I had none of that, you know what I'm saying? So it just had me just start recouping and just thinking about different things, what I wanted to do in my life. And, you know, once I started, you know, recouping, thinking about some things I wanted to do in my life, I always was kind of in and out of church, like here and there, you know what I'm saying? But, you know, up and down, you know, then I had, also too, I was in a relationship too, so I also said like, you know, your partner, you know, kind of like if you're in a bad relationship, that also kind of could like really throw you off too. Not saying like I was in a bad relationship, but it was just things that was taken away from me too at the same time, and I needed to let some things go. And once I was able to let some things go, I started getting myself together with God. And but I also could say like even with that relationship, you know, whatever, breaking up and things like that, that led me to get myself together with God. And, you know, then my mom passed. So my mom passed, but I kind of felt like, you know, I was already getting myself together with church, so that kind of like prepared me for her death. And then, you know, so I can honestly say like, you know, I really don't really trip off the breakup because I felt like she did me a service. You know what I'm saying? Because it, you know, helped me get myself together and helped me get myself together with God. You know what I'm saying? But I needed that. You know what I'm saying? And from there, it just helped me regroup everything. You know what I'm saying? I didn't want to deal with the women. I wanted to focus on business. I wanted I felt like I needed God so much. I wanted to let go of everything. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't trying to talk to nobody. I wasn't sleeping with nobody. I wasn't trying to kick it, drinking. Like I just really just let go of everything. You know, and I felt like in order for me to get something in return, I needed to give up something. And then, you know, like my father, he was telling me about like, just read Proverbs chapter 3, and I promise you it'll bless your life. You know, I wasn't thinking like it'll bless me other ways, but you know, like Proverbs is, you know, the book of Proverbs is about wisdom. So, you know, so And that was something that I had needed too. So, you know, no, probably going a little over, but no, you know what I'm saying? But in that period, I was trying to figure out real estate too. So, you know, I was driving Lyft, trying to figure out real estate. This was before my father told me that, so I kind of skipped a little bit. I was still trying to figure it out. You know what I'm saying? I had quit my job at the time, so I'm going back and forth. I quit my job, I was driving Lyft, then I picked the dude up, and he was like, "Ain't you Sneaks?" You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, what's up? Like, man, what you doing driving Lyft? Now, I was making good money doing Lyft. It wasn't probably, but I was making good, decent money.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? To survive. So then it just dawned on me, like, damn, you know what I'm saying? Like what am I doing?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So sometimes in life you gotta like, if you know you that dude, you know you that. Like, man, what I'm doing? Because I had settled for like, I just settled like, you know, this is gonna be, you know, what I'm about to be doing for the next few years, whatever. Like I'm gonna be, you know. So after that, you know, it was just like a down period, you know, in my life, you know what I'm saying? And I was just trying to, like I said, I was trying to figure it out. And I came across an interview on Breakfast Club, Mark Whitman talking about wholesaling. And then from there, I just got intrigued. Because you see stuff on the internet all the time about get rich schemes or whatever, how to make money on money. So I'm thinking like, because I was watching the Breakfast Club every day. So I was like, you know, not every day, but I was watching them all the time. And they always had a rapper or a celebrity, and they had this regular guy. I was like, he gotta be something. Like, he on there. Like, he gotta be doing something. So.
Now, for the viewers, what exactly is wholesaling if they're not familiar?
Well, wholesaling, I could say, is a term as to me, I'd say you the middleman to be real with you, but you know, but it's real estate investing where you have a seller who wants to sell their property, and then you have a buyer that wants to buy the property, and they have equitable interest. And you get the property under contract, you assign the property, and you get it under contract. Now you have interest in that property to either purchase it yourself, or you could go ahead and assign it to an end buyer for your assignment fee. And then that's why I say you're the middleman, because basically you just bringing the deal together, you assign the property to the buyer, and you get your I ain't gonna say commission, but assignment fee. So you can have a property that could be, I just use an even number. You can have a property to sell it. You want to sell your house for $20,000. I get it under contract for $20,000. I find a buyer, $30,000. That $10,000 as well. You know what I'm saying? So that's wholesale. So I started doing that. I was getting discouraged for a while when I got into it. I remember, you know, listening. I was taking my winning course, and I had a landlord at the time. They're like, "Well, yeah, we got a landlord. Ask me they got properties." So I hit my landlord up, asking him like, "Yo, you know what I'm saying?" I looked him up. I see he had all these properties. I'm like, "You want to sell some property? You want to buy some property?" He's like, "Man, why you want to do that? Like, you ain't gonna never make no money doing that." I'm like, "Man, you know what I'm saying? Like, he tripping." You know what I'm saying? And at that time, you know, I hit my girl up at the time, telling her I'm tripping. She brushed it off, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, he's right. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm encouraging you.
Yeah, so, you know, I'm like, all right, you know what I'm saying? You know. So usually a lot of stuff in my life, I start some stuff, I ain't gonna lie, I start some stuff, if I ain't really feeling it, I stop it.
Yeah.
But something just told me just to keep going with this. And then I met this guy named Jamal that we was just building, but we ain't getting no deals done. But we was building, but we, in my eyes, I felt like I built my buyer's list up in that process, because it was like, I would just listen to all this other stuff that I was listening to, and I knew what buyers wanted, you know what I'm saying? I knew what buyers wanted. That's the thing too with wholesaling, like, you know, building a buyer's list, getting what buyers want and finding what they want in the areas and this and that. So I was on Facebook like crazy. A lot of people say they don't like Facebook. That worked for me.
Yeah.
I sell a lot of properties off of Facebook. You know what I'm saying? A lot of properties. A lot of people will tell you don't mess with Facebook. Facebook, offer up when it was, I think, offer up let go. You know, when it was let go, offer up, all of it. So I was using all those tools, and like I was just building my buyers list up. And then once I, built my buyers list up, I just started connecting with other wholesalers and around the city, and just was like seeing what deals they had. And because I couldn't get no deals for myself, I had buyers. And then people just started sending me deals. And then once they started sending me deals, I was able to close them. I've been a wholesaler for 4 years. I could say the first year was like a little discouraging, but I stuck to it. I had to get a mentor. And once I got a mentor, my guy Ed Hayes, you know what I'm saying? I can say he saved my life. You know what I'm saying? I was probably one of his first mentees, and I invested into that, and he stuck with me. I was able to call him all the time, talk to him all the time, coach me what to say to sellers and buyers, all that. You know what I'm saying? And he was doing a little extra, which he didn't have to do, and I appreciate everything that he did. So, you know what I'm saying, shout out to Ed Hayes. He took the time, and I tell people all the time, like, make sure you get a mentor, because you can try to figure it out yourself, but sometimes you may need somebody that got more experience than you to help you. Because when you get into those mentors, they may put you into the day rooms or day buyers and all this different stuff.
I'll take a note on that, because that's a real gem right there, because the mentor's going to take you further. They're going to help you get over the hurdles that you don't have to necessarily go through, because they already been through them already. And I know, shout out to Keita. Mentor extraordinaire.
So, definitely, it saved you a lot of time too. You know what I'm saying? A lot of, because you may think you know a lot of stuff and you don't, but having a mentor definitely, helped me out in my business. Of course, over the years, I was reaching out to different people, connecting, asking questions. Like I always say, like my guy Divine, Nick, and my guy Xavier, them 3 people really helped me out in my wholesaling business. And it go back to, I always admire Xavier because I never forget when I was at church. I can't remember exactly what he was saying, but he said like you're gonna have to serve somebody that's younger than you or something that you may think that's less than you. So I never looked at it like that. And then when I started connecting with Xavier, he was younger than me, so if I'm 36, he gotta be probably like 23, 24. Whatever it is, he way younger. Yeah. And he was so polished, he was about his business. And I'm like, damn, this dude younger than me, he was about his business, and he taught me a lot. You know what I'm saying? And they taught me a lot too. So like I always, commend them guys because they didn't have to do it. So they ain't have to, reach out to me, build with me, send me stuff. So like I'm always big on relationships because relationships is what brought me to where I'm at. And if it ain't for relationships, I wouldn't have been able to connect with the different people. I can honestly say with my wholesaling business, like over the last 2 years, I haven't found a deal on my own. Like people send deals too. I've been doing good with it. So people send me deals. I close on their deals all the time. Now somebody comes to me and say like, no, like saying like y'all got a property, this and that. Then that'd be like my own contract. But other than that, like I probably close on like 10 deals a month from people sending it to me. Like I don't care about JV because I feel like I want everybody to win.
Oh yeah.
So like I ain't a money hungry person. So I go by value. So I figure like I know some people are wholesaling. They're turning down $1,500. I did deals for $500. I ain't doing that. It's all paperwork.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So all we just doing is assigning somebody, putting it together. And I ain't gonna turn it down. Right. Pay a bill or something.
Right. I know when I get a deal, I think I reach out to you. I reach out to Nick, I reach out to you, and it's like 3 other people I off top. Like, all right, let me shoot it there or whatnot. Like I said, when you JV, you know what I'm saying? I'd rather get what's the saying? I'd rather get
something than nothing.
Right, exactly. I'd rather get a portion of the watermelon than get all of the grape. You know what I'm saying? So that's real.
It definitely because it's like I look at it like this, man. In the business, man, just connecting with people, that helped me out a lot too. I had a couple of deals where feel like I ain't never been like super crossed over. Like I hear stories, but I ain't seen it. I'm saying, I ain't seen it, but I ain't been like super like X'd out. But relationships is everything, man. I tell people all the time, man, like, build relationships, do your due diligence. keep your word and have your integrity, because integrity is everything in this business. Because word of mouth is like if your word of mouth carries fast in this city.
Yeah.
So like people could start talking and this and that, cause like people may not want to deal with you. You know what I'm saying? So like I said, that helped me out a lot. Once, like I said, I talked about the mentor. Once I was doing that, then I was reaching out to other people. One of my guys, he was saying like, man, for every property that you wholesale, at least every 5 properties, you start buying them. So I was looking like, well, you get money, you might as well just hold on it now. Like 2 years ago, properties now, back then, was like $5,000-$10,000.
Yeah.
So at that time, I was buying a property, like 2 properties a month. Even if I wasn't doing nothing with them, I was just sitting on them. Or even if I wasn't buying them, I would take over somebody's back taxes. So me taking over people's back taxes, that's the thing too. We could get on payment plans. A lot of people got crazy back taxes on properties, and they don't know how they can get out of that. So I would just negotiate. The property to take over the taxes and pay it a couple months and wholesale it, whatever. But that's how I was able to hold over properties. And some I was able to, fix and flip and things like that. But the majority of all of them that I had, I just ended up wholesaling. But it ended up being a return for me long, over time. So that was something that I was doing.
That's how pay this up, by the way, doing back taxes that people don't even know about.
Yeah, tax lien investment. So, real quick, before y'all get too far down, what I do want to do is acknowledge, first of all, just the piece of stuff he gave us. So from the beginning, he talked about his personal journey and how that affected his entrepreneurial journey. He talked about dealing with your mental health, because everybody knows, especially if y'all serious about being an entrepreneur, if you got some quitting you, it's gonna bring it out. Anything that you have like unresolved prior to being in business puts a lot of stuff in the forefront. They put you in different situations where you're forced to have to face yourself or face whatever you're going through. And I love how you said, even though you had already been the man, you were working with the celebrities, you had already kind of built a very known business just from what you are, your natural talent, which was the shoe game. I love how you said I didn't have a reinvestment strategy. You were in the business, it was making its own money, but you were also spending and living life as well, right?
Yeah,
so that was huge. He had his reinvestment strategy, guys. Then he said he went on a whole spiritual journey. He was dealing with somebody on a romantic level who didn't understand his vision. I think a lot of times we allow other people to project on us when they don't understand or see what we're able to see. So he really broke that down as far as if there's no animosity or hatred that way. He actually appreciates her for what she was able to not provide, because that forced him to go seek it elsewhere. And where he chose to seek it was through his spiritual journey, which I think is amazing. But in doing so, it prepared him for some of the other losses he had, which was the loss of his mom. It helped him with sticking through, his persevering through bootstrapping efforts. He didn't say like, oh, I had all this built up. He said, I was doing Lyft. I went back to a normal job. I had to be in a humble place to go back to a humble beginning. And not to say he started a humble beginning, but he was forced in a humble shift to come back stronger. Another thing I caught, which, because I've been listening, y'all see, the first time I've ever been quiet. Y'all know I don't be quiet. But he broke that all the way down from his spiritual journey. He then said, I invested in a mentor, because even though I thought I knew and I saw who I am supposed to be, somebody reminded me of who I was and who I forgot I was. So that made me want to go grind a little bit harder. I was doing something I do every day, which is listen to rappers or comedians, and just a plain person came on and I didn't know who that was, and I took the opportunity to actually listen and learn. It sparked his interest. He went and learned more. He invested in himself. Not only did he invest in, Googling and YouTube, because you can't do it for free, but he said he took the man's course. He figured out the man existed and took his course. Then he started to apply. And because he started to apply, he almost fell back, but he was stronger because he figured out how to work through processes. So instead of falling back when it didn't pop in 30 days like we always expect, or 90 days, like he said, I usually would be a serial entrepreneur. Start something, it don't pop, I quit, try again. This time he said, I persevered through and actually made it. He said it was slow the first year. That's 365 days, 12 months, however y'all want to look at it. He said he did it. He stuck with it. He decided to get around some others and start relationship building. Something he was obviously great at. People they knew him. So he's great at relationship building. Even if he wasn't the conversation starter, once the conversation got started, he was able to continue and keep it going and make sure things were happening where everybody was in a mutually beneficial situation. So he took his mutually beneficial situations and decided to continue to eat with everybody, which brings me to something that I know Jamal for. I didn't know him, like, I didn't know the sneakers and all this extra stuff, and it's crazy because Cleveland is filled with, like I tell you all the time, there's more to Cleveland than Bone Thugs and LeBron, right?
Absolutely.
This is what I'm talking about. There's so many dope people doing dope things and just having these crazy, amazing experiences all around us, and we walk past them every day and not have a clue. But back to what I was saying about relationship building. I know Jamal because they did a wonderful free event for the city of Cleveland twice now. And then we actually have another one coming up tomorrow, which I will be building for. But the name of them is 5 gentlemen here in Cleveland, all kings, working together on a very basic level of financial education, feeding the streets, literally feeding the streets, not just food, but information, knowledge, game. And what they're doing is working together. The name of their company or joint venture is Everybody Eats, because when they feed the streets, everybody eats. So tell us more about that, because it's an amazing idea, but how did y'all even get there where you guys are meeting each other? Y'all went to school together? What happened?
Well, Everybody Eats, I'm trying to think how I came together. Alright, so I took another mentorship, recession proof. I got into that mentorship.
Shout out to him, 500.
So, that definitely changed my life too. Definitely big shout out to him, 500. So I took a mentorship with him, 500, and we had a Facebook group. So the first person I reached out to was my guy Mike. So Mike, Big Bang Mike. So he reached out to me, was giving me some advice and some credit stuff that I needed, so this and that. Because he was in Cleveland, so they always say like try to find the people that's in the city. Then we had a conference that was like earlier this year, so we went to the conference and we were just on this so hype, like, oh man, we need to do something. So me and Sam, we was already building, already with each other, and I already had new Marv. I always tell crazy little story, I don't want to go up, but me and Marv had the craziest story ever, because I remember when I was trying to get my credit journey, Marv was doing his credit, and I didn't mess with Marv. And then I had went with somebody else, and he was like, I was telling him that my stuff wasn't right. He was like, so what you calling me for? That was my dude, and I respect it though, you know what I'm saying? But it's crazy how the universe works and bring the brought us all back together. Because my guy Sam and Marv, they like this, you know what I'm saying? And I think like me, Sam and Marv, we was already Sam and Marv probably was already gonna do something, but then me and Lottie, then me, Lottie, and Mike had connected down at the recession pool at the conference. We was already building, and I think probably because we was already connected, and I'm like, since I already said that we was already gonna do something with Sam and Marv, I just felt that it just made sense that we all come together and do it together. And we had some other individuals, things didn't work out with them, but it just fit for us all to be together. And me doing real estate, but them other guys doing all credit and biz and stuff like that. The thing that I loved about us is that we were all 5 kings able to put our egos aside. Not saying that we had egos, but put things aside to be able to look, let's build this. Let's put our money together. Everything from the first event, from the second event, that was all our money. You know what I'm saying? We out of our own pocket, you know what I'm saying, to get the venue, food, and all that stuff, you know what I'm saying? All that came in our pocket. So we wanted just to come together and, do something for the community, something different. Like Lottie always say, some people give out book bags, give out food, you know what I'm saying? Give out knowledge, you know what I'm saying? So that's something that we wanted to do, and we wanted to continue to keep doing it. And now, you know what I'm saying, we got our mixer that's tomorrow at Captive 8. So, you know, bringing entrepreneurs to be able to mix and mingle with each other and connect and build. So that's something that we gonna keep building once a month. Then in February, we're gonna have our gala, you know what I'm saying, Black Tie Gala around All-Star Weekend. So stay tuned to that. But like I said, like my guys, shout out to Sam, Mar, Lottie, and Mike, you know, like, you know what I'm saying, we put something together.
Absolutely.
We get those guys on.
We gonna network with them so we can make sure they come on, because they also have very powerful stories. And like he said, it's tough sometimes navigating the space when everybody's egotistical. And for them, they legit put on wonderful events here in the city of Cleveland. So if you do ever decide to come and visit, and you know for sure you want to learn, grow, be around a different atmosphere and a different type of vibe, they for sure brought it from the DJ to the bar to the food and different accommodations for every diet, which was awesome.
And we got people approved at the end. So
they did. We made the room I was in made about, I want to say $65,000, $70,000 that night. Just on a straight, pull out your phones, try this, you know, push 2 or 3 buttons. But it was an amazing experience, and I love that you all are able to provide that. Like you said, they all do a little bit something different, but they found wherever they could connect, which would be business credit. And so Jamal, as we know, is a multifaceted entrepreneur. He has a little bit of everything going on. So what else do you do?
I'm about to say,
and how do you find time to do it?
I have a couple questions, because I don't know about the Turo. The Turo thing, dude, I see you in with Lexus, I think with Mercedes. I'm like, man, my man, he doing it, you know what I'm saying? So I know I personally want to ask a couple questions, but how did you get into Turo? Because I know it's real big right now.
From my mentorship from Recession Proof, like I didn't think nothing about Turo. Then my guy DJ, you know, we were just sharing some things, and I seen him kick it off. That's my man, you know what I'm saying, one of my spiritual brothers that helped me through my journey. You know what I'm saying, also with him, you know, DJ, Twan, Jason, shout out guys. And my journey, I needed them brothers, you know what I'm saying, help me, you know what I'm saying, get myself together. And I'm glad God placed them guys into my life, you know what I'm saying. But he was doing a Turo, and I was like, all right, well, you know, I can put my car on there, you know, see what it do. Then right before the first event, we had a Benz place, so I was like, well, shoot, let me go down there, go get the Benz. So I ended up getting another Benz. So I'm like, well, shoot. My whole thing was just leveraging. I really wasn't trying to make no money. I mean, yeah, I want to make money, but my whole main was I need this car to pay for that car.
Yeah.
And I need this crib to pay for this crib. You know what I'm saying? So my whole thing was like leveraging, and I tell people now like that, I ain't spending my money on nothing. You know what I'm saying? So I'm leveraging everything. You know what I'm saying? It gotta benefit me. So even if you see me talking about selling shoes again, I'm selling them because I want me some shoes. You know what I'm saying? So it's all about leveraging, you know. And some people can take it offensive and things like that, but at the end of the day, when you learn about trying to turn credit to cash, that's what you want to do. You want to leverage, you know what I'm saying? So once you be able to start figuring it out, and then you do your everyday life, whatever you do for work, business, whatever you do, you can be able to start keeping your own income. And it won't be like, it won't be stressful straining on you now. You know what I'm saying? It's like, oh, I gotta work this job, I gotta make this amount of hours to pay for this and this and this. You want everything to take care of itself. You know what I'm saying? It can be from building relationships. So that's why I'm so constantly like posting stuff and this, because I always like to build relationships, because I never know what I'm gonna need from somebody. You know what I'm saying? Or what call away like, yo, can I, you know what I'm saying, blah, this and that. But go back to the Turo, yeah, so me and my guy DJ, he helped me out with it a lot. So we, you know what I'm saying, we just connected with it and just started just putting our stuff on the platform, and then from there, it was a little slow at first, you know what I'm saying? On his side it was going good for him, but it was slow for me at first. And I just started seeing like how things change, and I was like, well, as long as it can make me money to take care of this car note, I don't care.
Right.
You know, anything over that is extra for me. You know what I'm saying? So that was my main purpose of it. And then also I feel like with Turo and having different cars, you know, when you connect with different people that's doing Turo, Like I feel like I could drive a different car every week if I wanted to. You know what I'm saying? Because we all got different quarter. I can hit DJ up and be like, look, let me drive the Porsche, let me drive the Lexus, let me drive the Jeep or something. You know, they can hit me, let's drive the Benz. Like, so it's like a little flex for real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you know, if they're not booked now, of course you want all of them booked, but it's still like you would be able to just, you know, drive. And plus we learning all these different credit stuff. It's like, look, you know, you could have multiple cars now, you know what I'm saying, without just, a lot of people have one car. And I tell people, like, if you got your own car, at least one weekend out of the month, Turo out and then pay your car note.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So
some time out, because I'm pretty sure everybody's like, you mean to tell me I can put my car out just running my car for the weekend? And like, that's real stuff.
yeah, you can put it on Turo, put it on hire car, you know, that's something that y'all can look up. That's a little gem right there. 1 weekend out of the month, you know, just like make a sacrifice and be like, look, I may not go nowhere this weekend. You got a boyfriend or girlfriend. Tell your girlfriend she driving this weekend. Tell your boyfriend you driving this weekend. You know, something like, you know, like look, put this car out for the weekend, blase, and take care of your car now. Like you want something to take care of something, you know what I'm saying? For it won't be like stressing you or straining. You're not saying that it'll be stressing you or straining you, but you want to try to make sure to take care of something.
So for all those people who don't have like high-end luxury cars, because I have a Honda Accord, it's still put on there.
Well, they're the best cars, the economy cars. You know what I'm saying? So they may not, ain't gonna say they're gonna hit for like also the $100 of every day range, but them are the best cars to have, you know, the economy cars.
So you heard it first. You don't need luxury car, guys. You got a car. If you got 4 wheels, you can put it.
Yeah, because you gotta think of it like this. You got people. Well, that's Turo, but the thing is, like with hire car, you got people that like to drive DoorDash, Lyft. You know what I'm saying? If I knew that when I was doing Lyft, I would never drive my car. You know, but you got those people that want to do Lyft and do DoorDash and Uber Eats and all that. And you could rent your car out there for like a week or something. You know, so it's just like it's a lot of stuff out there that we don't know about. That's why it's good to like get into these different mentorships. Like me, I'm about to invest into another mentorship. Actually, probably 2 of them before this year is over with. Because like it's all, I constantly want to continue to educate myself and learn. Like I'm not one of them people that know it all or say I know it all. You know what I'm saying? So I'm constantly leaning on. That's the good thing about our God. Leaning on to them, asking them what's going on. You know, we got a boot camp coming up too. But just to sharpen our skills, you always also want to do that. You know what I'm saying? Like hit you all the time. Well, hit you recently, just tell me like I just, you know, want to build with you, get some information from you, you know, something we all can build. And I think like when you're in business, you want to learn from the experts. You want to learn from people that's doing it. Like it's a lot of stuff that I'm doing. It's a lot of stuff that I know that I could be doing too. And I'm not ashamed to say like, yo, I need some help. Can you help me in the right direction? So don't be scared to ask people for help. You know, so I ask people to reach out. Because in my journey, I've reached out to people. People turn me away. That's why I'm the person that I am now. When people hit me up, I don't mind talking to them. That's why I love when we get everybody eats. You know, like from while y'all been there, that could have been $1,000 ticket off top. You know what I'm saying? Just for each person. You know, so but we did it for free. And I honestly say nobody in Cleveland did something like that. Twice we did that twice. We did July. I forgot the first day, July 11th, I think, and then September 19th. So we did that back to back right away and put on. Nobody did it like that for free.
And that was a good way for people like I said in the network in our city. Like we don't have too many of those and whatnot. So shout out to y'all, man. And
now, what is something that you would tell somebody who's interested in working with you, or maybe signing up for one of your mentorship programs? Or do you have any available, or you think about starting one?
I'm actually, it's crazy that that you just brought that up. I've been having a conversation with some good people that's in my circle in my life about starting mentorships, and because we have a boot camp coming on when everybody eats, but I'm also going to be starting a mentorship and have it coming out with courses that's going to be like the triple threat. So it's going to be credit, real estate, and business. You know what I'm saying? So that's what I'm going to be offering. Because I feel like, a lot of people hit me up about wholesaling and real estate and things like that, but I also want to be able to offer a program that can help you, because me and my journey in real estate, when I first started, when I was telling you about those properties that I was buying them with my own cash, and vice versa. Now if I get my credit together, now I'm buying properties off of my business credit.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So I want to tell people like, yeah, you know, leverage. You know what I'm saying? Because you don't have to spend. You know, like you, agent. I'm sure you know, I know you see, like you don't have to use your own money. You know what I'm saying? So like I want people to know, like, look, you can get into this real estate, get your credit, get your business credit together, and you can be able to learn these tools and strategies. That's how I kind of feel like by me knowing real estate, knowing wholesaling, and looking for all market properties and things like that, you can be able to find good investments for you. Find good investments for you. You can use private money too, hard money, all those different strategies too. You know what I'm saying? As well, but also just not being able to use your own money. The best thing is not to use your own money.
Right. I think the key word from this takeaway from this podcast is leverage, y'all. Leverage is the key word.
Leverage everything.
Yeah.
Leverage.
Shit, we didn't get to Airbnb. We only touched on what 3 things. We didn't touch on Airbnb.
Yeah. Okay, yeah, because quiet as it's kept. If somebody was to actually come and join our city, come to visit our city and really see what Cleveland's like, they really could hit you up for the whole experience. That's I can learn something. I know where I'm gonna stay at. I'm gonna give me a car while I'm here.
Right, one-stop shop.
But I also feel, and that's a good thing. That's one of the reasons why I got into Airbnb and Turo, because I do have investors that come in from out of town. They may need somewhere to stay. And you know, drive around the city, and because the first Airbnb was me and my guy Sam, and we had in Atlanta, so that kind of like opened the doors for me, like because at first I wasn't really thinking about Cleveland. I didn't think Cleveland was gonna do it like that.
Yeah.
So I ended up doing it up here, and it worked out. And then we had my vehicle at the same time, so it was just like it's a bonus. So I got an Airbnb for you. I got a car for you at the same time. Yeah. So it was like kind of like even like prime example, it just worked out. Like one of our speakers at the last event, you know, he came in, had a car for him. You know what I'm saying? So that's good to have like when you got people come in that's investing to you, like look, you know, if your stuff not booked up, like here, you know, because if they pouring into you, so you get it from look, I got something for you, you know what I'm saying? Here, you don't even work. You know, so just providing an experience, so that's like kind of like what I want to start going into and continue to go into, just being able to provide a good lifestyle for people. You know what I'm saying, on the car side and then on the stage. So with the Airbnb and Turos, you know, it's your time stays and it's your time rentals. And then if you want your credit, business, real estate, it's your time.
It's your time.
I like that. I like that. I do. So, question. So, if anybody get in touch with you, how would they get in touch with you?
My Instagram is sneaks.dissin. My email is info@itisyourtime.net. Phone number is
and we'll put all this in the description too, guys.
Absolutely.
We'll make sure we get you guys together.
I'll make sure I give y'all a phone number for y'all to have it. But like I said, like I'm always on my DMs, you know what I'm saying? You know, checking that. So if anybody want to reach out to me, feel free to hit me up. I'm always a call away. So you know what I'm saying, I'm here.
So I got one last question. What are the 3 main takeaways you want somebody when they see an interview, like the main things they want to be able to pull from the interview? Like I got that from watching Sneak Dissin video. Interview and whatnot. What are the 3 things?
Well, the 3 main things, for one, you know, when I was speaking on my past, I just want people to just know, just to find yourself and just, you know, just be comfortable with yourself. And that was the thing that I needed to do. When I was getting my life together with God, I needed to find myself. I feel like if you're trying to go into business, whatever you're trying to go into, you need to be comfortable with your own self.
Yeah.
Because you could try to, you know what I'm saying, like we were talking about earlier, I didn't speak on this, you know, in the beginning of the interview, but, you know, from me having my downfalls and things like that, you'll scoreboard watch and you'll see other people doing this, and I was comparing myself to like other people, like dang, you know, why I ain't there, why I ain't like that, or why this person ain't showing me love like that. But in reality, man, you gotta get out here and do it with yourself. You can't sit here and just be thinking about what people gonna do, because you'll be sitting here thinking, and you won't be doing it. You know what I'm saying? So you just gotta go out and do it. You know what I'm saying? Just start and figure out the rest later. You know, I got that thing for me. But another thing too, just start reaching out to people, start networking, connecting. And like everything that I do in my life all goes back to God. So me networking, connecting all started for me. You know, even though like people knew me, but I wasn't really like a people's person for me. So it all started for me serving in church. And I felt like those times when we serving at the parking lot in the ministry, that helped me out with my people skills. Talking to people, saying, hey, communicating with people on a regular, that helped me. So get yourself in rooms that you may feel uncomfortable and that you think that you're gonna be uncomfortable with, but just get into them rooms, you know, and just start doing things differently. Do something that you ain't never thought you would do. Go to an opera or something. You know what I'm saying? Something that just totally out your ordinary baseball game or something like that. I mean, that's not what you do, but I'm just saying, like, do something different. I guarantee you'll get a different experience out of it. And once you get a different experience out of it, I honestly feel like you'll be able to do the things that you thought you couldn't do. That's how I feel. And I think the third one is I know we talk about leveraging, but just start focusing on you. I'm probably all over the place, but
it's all good stuff.
I'm trying to think. I ain't saying there's a lot of people that don't got kids, but if you do got kids, just think about your future. You know what I'm saying, and where you want to be at. You know, and start trying to just. I know a lot of people talk about credit, this and that. I tell everybody, even if you ain't got a business, just start something, man. If it's your last name, like whatever, Johnson, Group, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Just start building a business credit, you know what I'm saying? And, you know what I'm saying? Tap in with her, business side, you know, and just go from there, because it'll help you out down the line too, you know what I'm saying? So just start thinking about where you want to be in the next few years, and just don't sit and just think about what everybody else doing. If you in your phone right now, if you're on Instagram all the time, start deleting some stuff, start deleting some texts, start getting all those meaningless conversations, those meaningless people out of your life, that's not adding value to you. Because at the end of the day, that's going to pull from you from where you're trying to go to. It's kind of hard to be sitting here trying to pray to God and ask God to be doing, to bless you and elevate you from doing the total opposite. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you gotta let go some things and let go some people, you know, and to get to where you need to get to. And I know it may be hard as a sacrifice, but I guarantee you it'll bless you at the end of the day.
Shoot, listen.
No better to say after that, y'all.
Right. That's good stuff.
Good one.
And I know we'll be here a year from now. We're not here specifically, but I know we'll have Jamal back on a year from now. We're talking about Everybody Eats Part, you know what I'm saying, 20. You know what I'm saying? We're going to be in a high rise somewhere, so look forward to that, man.
Sure. I appreciate you, for even, what I'm saying, just having me. This is an honor.
Thanks for having us.
No,
we pulled up on you.
Yeah, we pulled up on you. And this is nice, though. This is real nice, y'all. This is nice. But yeah, we appreciate you, man. And shoot, we'll see y'all next episode.
We sure will. Make sure y'all subscribe, tune in.
Absolutely.
Follow Sneak Dissin. We will put all his information below. Tap in with him. Like he said, networking is key. And sometimes you can go much further, much faster if you know the right people. So stay tuned to the pull-up experience. Not only our podcast, but our in-person events, because we got you covered. All right.
That was dope.
That was good.
And record the whole thing.